that is a message, part of a message that was given to me to read out to the Scandinavian countries, which were Oslo, Göteborg, Stockholm, and Copenhagen. These are the places that I was supposed to read it, and I'm going to read it right now again and comment on it. And you, even if you are still struck with blindness, groping your way in this wilderness, lacking, starved and scorched dry, even if you feel conquered by bitter plague, return to me as you are. For I have taken my stand against my holy wrath by reminding myself that I had fathered you, and I will stand by you always and everywhere you go. Approach the living one, and I will demonstrate my sweetness towards you, teaching you that piety is stronger than all. Piety will keep you away from sin. Come and strike your root in me, so that I turn you as well into a tree with branches that bear fruit. And my inscription will be carved on each one of your fruits, so that those who eat will hunger for more. And from there on, you will tune your ear to the truth thrice holy. And by applying your heart to the truth, you shall live. I think that this message is very encouraging. It's a promise. It's a promise by God to lift these places, the people of these places, into what He wants you to be, into the truth. When He says, when He approaches you right now, He sees, He uses the words lacking, you lack. Starved, this is figurative, of course, words. Starved and scorched dry, that means in the faith, there's not a fire, lacking the fire of spiritual fire within people. And I'm not categorizing, of course, the whole land, but if God says this, He knows what He's saying. There's a lot of lack of spirituality, lack of faith, lack of knowing God, lack of everything that belongs to Him. So blindness, struck blindness, that means you're groping your way into a desertic place, a wilderness. He uses wilderness. So even if you feel conquered by bitter plague, that could be, I would say, that many things that turn unfortunately not as you want. It brings you to be very disappointed and in a state of being, what we call it, depression. There are people who are depressed because there's something lacking. Lacking means God is lacking in their life, because God brings joy. God brings happiness, hope. So this is what He says. He knows that this is lacking. So it brings like a bitter plague in the people. That means being not happy, lacking God. So He asks, return to me, and that's the promise. This is really the good part of it. Return to me as you are. Don't worry. Just come to Him and He will lift you. But you have to need God. You have to decide for God and ask God to come to your help, because it doesn't say here in the message, but in other messages He says that in Judgment Day we shall all be judged according to the measure of the love we had here on earth. So this will be our judgment. And we have to learn to love. The gift is given by the Holy Spirit. So all this will be given to you, because He says, come as you are. He doesn't condemn you. He doesn't say, stay away from me because you are in that state. Not at all. He encourages you, come to me as you are. And He will turn you into what He wants you to be. And he says, return to me as you are, for I have taken my stand against my holy wrath. Well, that means he's holding back his wrath. He's a judge, remember that, and his severity is as great as his mercy. We know that. And by reminding myself that I had fathered you. This is beautiful. We know that God is our Father. And so he wants to show his paternal love to you here. And I will stand by you always and everywhere you go. He will be your holy companion. He will be your friend. And he will teach you in a special way how to live holy. This is after you ask him. Because he respects our free will. If we don't want, you tie his hands. But if you really want, he's available there and he wants to help out. And he says, strike your root in me so that I turn you into a tree with branches that bear fruit. After you say yes to God, then you will have good fruit. And anybody, that means your testimonies, the way you live your life, will be like a fruit to others who will taste it, and you'll bring them as well to God. You will be like an apostle, in other words. And that's it. So I would say it's a very encouraging, very nice message for all the Scandinavian countries.